Okay, so this is the beginning of univariate. So this is just the pretest at the beginning of the chapter. Things that you would have done, or you could probably common sense work a lot of this out. So we're just going to go through a few questions. So if you have a look at there, you've got a type of graph there. That's actually called, this is a histogram graph. So that's a histogram graph because it has, if you have a look, it has frequency and then categories down here. Okay. So if you look, it says the number of DVDs rented per person at a store is shown in the graph. Okay. How many customers rented 3 DVDs? So good. So you are just simply looking at 3 and then you read across to see what it is. And you can see that that is 8. Good. How many customers were surveyed altogether? How are we going to work that out? If you said 8, yeah, good. You said 8 were 3. How many rented 0? 5. How many rented 1? 8. How many rented 2? 14. And how many rented 4? Looks like 3 and 2. So you're going to have to add all them up. So you got 5 plus 8 plus 14 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2. So, and what does that equal? So that was 40. Good. So how many DVDs were rented during the survey? It wasn't 35. If you look at it, we had 5 people rent 0. Plus we had 8 people rent 1. We had 14 people rent 2. And then we had 8 people rent 3. And then 3 people rented 4. And 2 people rented 5. So we have to be careful there, don't we? So that would be 0, 8, 28... 24, 12, and 10. So what have we got there? It's more than that. So 36, 56, 60, 72, 82. Yeah? So 82 was the answer for that one. Okay, and then the last question, how many customers rented fewer than 2 DVDs? So when they say that, so we have a look, how many rented fewer than 2 DVDs? Wouldn't that be these 2? Yeah? So how many was it?
Wouldn't it just be 8 though, because the zeros aren't?
No, but just how many customers? No, they're saying. So customers came in and just looked around and didn't rent any. So you still have to say, you have to say the 0 as well. I can see how that could be confusing, but we need it. So we'd say 5 plus the 8. Yep, so 13 in total. Cool. All right. So we just got to be careful and make sure that we're understanding what that is. We'll look more at them. Okay. Let's looking at this question. The table shows the frequencies scores in a test. So the amount of people who scored 0 in a test, how many did it? How many scored 0? 2. Good. How many scored say above 60? How many scored above 60? No. If you're above 60, aren't you these 2? So, how many? Good. All right, let's go answer these questions. How many scores were in the 40 to less than 60 range? So you're adding these 2, yeah? So we're going to say 18. Good. How many scores were at least 60? At least. Yeah, So when we look at that, when you say at least 60, you got to go both of them, yeah? So we're going to say, what did we say, 19? How many were less than 80? So if we've got less than 80, that would be all of these guys, which is, what is it? 23. if we look at that, how many scores were there in total? So we need to add all of them up. So where we got 5, 11, 23, what is it? 30? 30? Yeah. Oh, sorry. 30. And what percentage of the scores were 20 to less than 40? Now, we've got to start being really careful here where they say what percentage, what percentage. So when you see the word percentage, what I want you to do is always, when you see that, if they're asking what percentage, I want you to say, write this. Always write amount over the total times 100, because that's how you find a percentage. So then we've got to go. So when they say what the amount part, when I say amount, that is how many were they talking about. They want to know the 20 to less than 40 range. So 20 to less than 40 is that amount. So how many is there? There was 9 in that part. And how many was there in total? So if you go total, and that's when we added them all up, good. And we thought that there was 30. So I've done the amount out of the total, and I'll times it by 100. And what do we get? 30%. Good. Excellent. All right. Okay, so can you see how that? So every time they say percentage, write that little formula here, and then you'll be fine. Let's go on to the next one. So here we're practicing calculating just some basic sums so that we remember. So if we have 6 plus 10, you have to add those two. So 16 over 2, what would that equal? 8, good. What about if we have 17 over 2? Can you simplify that anymore? No, leave it like that. What about this one? This one would be, so 6, 5 is 11, 20 over 4, which is 5, good. And what about these ones? 8, 16, 26, 40 over 5, which is good. Awesome. Just making sure that you, when we use some formulas. All right. Okay. For each of these questions and the data set, find the mean, which is the average. So we're might have to work out or practice writing what the mean. Now the mean symbol is sometimes written like that. Who knows, how do you find an average? Yep, Harry? Pardon?
You plus them all together and divide by the amount.
Yeah, good. So when you find the mean, you add up all numbers, yeah, and then divide by total amount of numbers, yeah. So we can, sometimes they say the sum of all the x's, so that means all the numbers, divided by n, the number. So if you look here, let's go do that one first. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this one, n equals 5. So if we were finding the mean will equal all of them added up. And then we divide by 5. So, all right, so we get, 45. 45, come on. Okay, now looking at the next one, who can tell me, does anyone know what the mode is? Good, the mode is most frequent, or you might like to think of it as the popular one. Okay, so what is the mode in this case? Good, excellent. So the mode is 41. All right, let's have a look. If we go to do the median, does anyone know what is the median? Yep, good. So it's the number in the middle. Excellent. So what you have to do is you need to make sure that they're in lowest, first they have to be in lowest to highest, yeah? And are they in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are. and then you pick the middle one. So this would be the middle number, wouldn't it? Yeah? So good. We'll write 41. Okay, and our last question of our data array. What is the range? Who can tell me what is the range?
The difference between the height.
Excellent, Ollie. Well done. Maximum minus minimum. So in this case, the highest is 58 minus 38, which is 20. Good. All right, so let's go have a look at our next set, and we'll do the same. So if we count along, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So n equals 10. So when we're finding the mean, we're going to add all those up. And then divide by 10. Let's have a look at what that equals. So I got 6. Hopefully that one's right. Okay, the mode. So you said the mode was the most frequent. Which one's the mode in this one? 2. Yep, I agree. Okay, then we've got the median. So the median, we need to put them in order. Now, we've got them, they are in order here from lowest to highest. But if we split it in half, don't we have 5 on one side and 5 on the other? So how do we find the median? You take the two middle numbers, you add them together, and you divide by 2. So what would that be? 6. Okay, so the median is 6. And then the last one, the range, is the maximum minus the minimum, which is 12 minus 2. Excellent, which is 10. Okay, the stem and leaf plot shows the weights in grams of some small calculators. Okay, so down here you got to look, it'll tell you what the key means. So when the stem's there, that means the tens, and then the leaf means how many units. So the first calculator, or if I ask you, how much does that calculator weigh? That top one. 98 grams. Good. Excellent. All right. So we've got to make sure that we understand what the stem and leaf is actually talking about it. So how many, when they ask us, how many calculators are represented in this plot, can you see that would be the leaves? Isn't that one calculator, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There were 15 calculators. So the leaves represent an individual item. So you'll know how many. So what is the mode? So which one's the most frequent? And they even helped you there. Which one is most popular? Do you see 2 of them? So what actually is that number though? It is. Isn't it 139? But they're saying which one's most, what is the mode? So we're going to say this one, 139. Yeah? Oh, there's 111 as well. So yeah, you're right. So actually take that back. I'll write that one out. So we're going to say those 2. There wasn't another one, was there? No. Okay, what is the minimum calculator weight on that stem and leaf? What's the smallest one? Good, 98. And what's the largest one? Excellent, 145. This guy is the biggest leaf down there, and it's 145. Find the range. So the range would be 145 minus 98, which equals 47. Awesome. And that's